So yesterday we did talk about a basic claim which has been made by, and still people are making, Muslim claim regarding the preservation of the Quran. We talked about how Muslims are stating there is only one Quran perfectly preserved because Allah says so. That's Surah 15 verse 9. And then another claim from Muslims was regarding how uh, all the dots of the Quran have all letters, have all everything in the Quran, dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, word by word. Quran is exactly the same which part of the world you go. And we did brought up a couple of Qurans to Speakers Corner where Muslims can see they are named differently and they are written differently. Muslims simply turn to us, no, they are exactly the same, but miracle happens even for the Muslims. As the miracle happens for the Muslims, Muslims put together this lovely book. Okay, so this is the PDF version of the book. Like, we all need to say huge thank you to Takiewicz for, I don't know how he find it, but PDF version is there. That's good because the physical copy I got it and I studied wasn't very good quality, so it's already like fallen apart. But so this is the book was put together by a Muslims in the intention Muslims wanted to tell whole world that there are minimum 10 different Arabic Qurans. And of course, when we look at the book, what we are going to see is we will see actually they are giving us name of the 30 different Arabic Qurans. And today we are just gonna go through them and then show what Muslims are saying. So please don't accuse me of lying or anything. All I'm gonna do is, with my very, very bad broken English, I'm just gonna read it to you and I'm just gonna show it to you. It should all be fun, and hopefully this time you will able to follow up a little bit better because now you can see them bigger. Yesterday I was showing them with my training camera. With that one, of course, writings of the book is smaller, so you didn't see them well. And because I use that for different purposes, so it is practically difficult to kind of set up. Anyway, so let me just get you the basics so that we all follow up. Muslims would tell us, they're supposed to be telling us from now on, that actually when Muhammad died, he did not left a Quran behind. Okay, this will be the Quran from Surah 1 to Surah 114, starts from Fatiha to Surah Nas, or any other version of the Quran. He did not leave anything behind. Of course, please don't think that was because Muhammad couldn't read and write and Muhammad didn't even bother about the word of Allah. Or please don't think because Aisha was having this boxing match with a goat, with a sheep, to rescue the word of Allah, or early Sahabais were fighting with one another, which supposed to be in the Quran or what Allah revealed. All we know is because the revelation was still continuing, Muhammad didn't even bother to compile as the revelation came. So Muhammad dies in 632. Before he dies, we looked at yesterday that Umar, second caliph of Islam, father-in-law of Muhammad, expresses his concern regarding Hisham. Hisham is reciting Surah 25 differently. Umar wants to go and grab him, like that's very bad recitation, very different recitation. Both of them goes to Muhammad, and then Muhammad simply says, actually, guys, I know I didn't tell you before because I was just so busy with my wives. Quran is revealed in 7 different ways. What is the reason for that? Because my ummah, Muslim community, is old. They're old men, old women, they can't read and write. They're just like not in the IQ level, they're not very good. Therefore, I ask Allah to make it easy for my ummah. Therefore, Allah, because Gabriel give it to me in 7 different ways. By that stage, no one heard about this, okay? And then we've got another story where we see actually Ubay bin Ka'b, whom Muhammad says take the Quran from. I love this guy. Whoever you are, thank you for posting this for me. Um, we've got this conversation takes place between Ubay bin Ka'b and Muhammad, where Ubay bin Ka'b hears that a Muslim is reciting the Quran different than what Muhammad taught to Ubay bin Ka'b, yet Muhammad says okay to both of the uh, recitation, and then expresses that Quran is revealed in 7 different ways. Of course, from that, what we have is Umar Muhammad struck Ubay bin Ka'b in his chest, which makes Ubay bin Ka'b to sweat. That doesn't look like oh, let's have a hot chocolate or coffee or anything. So of course, Ubay bin Ka'b says, I never doubted. He didn't even have that much doubt before the Islam, in the time of Jahiliyyah, when everyone was like no education or they didn't know the basics. So what we see is Muhammad tells Allah, according to Muhammad, of course, there is no second person ever heard. Gabriel spoke to Muhammad and then said, oh, I'm gonna make it to you on 7 different ways. There is no second person, there is no third person when that conversation took place. Of course, there is no second or third person giving us the testimony that once a year, when during Ramadan especially, when Muhammad was reciting Quran to Gabriel, no one is testifying for us. Yep, he gave him the 7 different ways, but we don't know. So something goes wrong along the way. Muhammad got poisoned by a Jew woman, and he had to say goodbye to life. From that, Abu Bakr steps in and then compiles the first Quran, because 70 people died in the Battle of Yamama. They are going to lose the Quran. First Quran is being compiled under Abu Bakr, and then Uthman steps in. Remember, yesterday we read it. Uthman steps in, and then people start within like 20 years, from 600 to 632 to 650s, Muslims start calling one another kafir, disbelievers. Why? Because the way that Quran has been recited. So far, oral tradition has been failed. Therefore, there is a reason to compile the Quran. Second Quran is being compiled under the Uthman, because people called one another kafir. And as Uthman did that, what happened? Uthman ordered everything to be burned. And then Uthman compiled that Quran which was revealed to Muhammad in 7 different ways. Uthman made it to one way, according to Islamic traditions. So we got rid of those 7 different Qurans. And then of course we do have this story of lovely sheep, and then testimony of Muslims are saying, yeah, we lost the Quran is gone, we can't do much about it, blah blah. That goes on. It comes around 1924, 10th of July 1924, we get to hear that, oh, there is a problem with the Quran. There is a problem with the Quran. What are we gonna do? We are gonna, from now on, we are gonna officialize Hafs Quran. And then end of 1924, adjustments are made to the again Hafs Quran, and then that's been published. 1936, that Quran become the official for Egypt, and Quran end up in where? In the river. First Quran is being burned. Not first Quran, I'm sorry. Uthman burns the Quran. Hajjaj actually destroys the Quran. I forgot that part. And then in 1900s, Quran got sunk in the river. And Allah is apparently going to guard the Quran. I am assuming Allah is just under the river, currently just trying to guard the Qurans as they are being sunk. And you can get to do that in where? In Egypt. So from that, without any shame, still we do have Muslims who are telling us there is only one perfect Quran. Dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, they are exactly the same. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be gentle and just read the Islamic sources. But before that, Sydney, we are going to reply to the first question today, and then second question probably gonna be replied at Speaker's Corner, because I've got some materials. First I will be sharing them at Speaker's Corner, and then we can put them, discuss them in the live stream. I forgot what I said last, but so today we are going to simply look at the Muslims, and as they tell us about different Arabic Qurans. Essentials for us to remember. Today, according to Muslim scholar, I don't know if you can see it, Yasir Kadri, we don't even know what is Ahruf. Okay, that is like 7 Ahruf Quran has been revealed to Muhammad. That's like when he doesn't remember what he said to the people, he just makes it up. And then according to Islamic tradition, in 1900s there were 50 different Arabic Qurans were circulating around. Okay, in 1900s. I do have them all in a list in different format. We are not gonna focus on that one. We will be focusing on what Muslims are saying to us today. So, okay, remember, this is the book. I'm looking at it. Actually, I don't need to show you from this because I've got the PDF of it. Okay, where is the PDF? Okay. Muslim monotheist, who do you think you are telling me out of his recitation? According to whom? Not according to your Muslim scholars. Not, Allah doesn't even talk about Aruf. According to whom Aruf is the recitation? Please give us the references and then tell us what happened to those Arufs, 7 Arufs, or according to 7 recitations, which simply revealed to Muhammad and caused Ubay bin Ka'b to doubt his faith and caused Umar to jump over someone during the prayer. So this is the book which was put together by Muslims, and it's simply gonna tell us, when Muslims are telling you Quran is dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, word by word, exactly the same, this book is gonna step in and then say, no, that's not true. Okay, it's not I'm saying that, I know that's not true, but Muslims are gonna say those things to other Muslims. Okay, any questions so far, any comments so far? Phil, thank you for posting the link to the PDF of the book. Hopefully I will copy that link at the end and then put them in the description. So I can simply go where I left yesterday, because what I did was uh, actually, uh, actually I think there will be probably more than 900 crowns. Um, um, I I don't know, but the ones I looked at, like I looked at more than 50 different Arabic crowns, which was existed in 900s. So I'm just moving those things out quicker because it just tells us, yes, there are the difference. And please note that only 30% of those differences 30% of those differences end up in this book. So this book is come on. Let me just show you the format of the book. So you do have, on one side, you have the so I need to put this here so that I can see the comments are moving forward. I apologize for that. So on one side you can see Quran in Arabic form, and on the next to it you can see the English version, English translation of it. So purpose of this book is to tell the humanity, actually, in Arabic, written version of the verse is different, written version of the word is different, pronunciation is different, sound is different, letters are different, and then of course meaning is different. Let me show you how the meaning changes. And then he puts on the your right hand side English translation, and then he identifies for us in English translation, yes, this is the translation of it different. Okay, Arabic is different and English is different. That's the point author of the book is making. It's very simple. None of you needs to be Einstein. And then of course, as you go to the footnotes, Muslim is gonna tell you what are the differences and in which Qurans. But before we move there, let's go and then do a little bit basic so that you all know actually how those different Arabic Qurans end up into the world. Okay, so here's the 10 different Arabic Qurans. Muslim is expressing that he's looking for it. First one, so what I have done was Muslim already put the names there. All I did was just put the dates so that we can all see how many of those 10 so-called 10 different Arabic Qurans has anything to do with Muhammad. Okay, I am afraid it's gonna be teamwork. I will be asking you to please tell me if this takes you back to Muhammad, Abu Bakr, or Uthman. Okay, I'm sure we can do that as a teamwork. Teamwork is good exercise and it helps you to work on your compromise skills. I'm not very good at it, but Surah Fatiha is your favorite verse. Surah Fatiha is Allah's eternal prayer, and so in the Quran Allah is asking for guidance, and but that's another topic. There are lots of another topic. So on the one side where it says Imams, what we will be seeing is those are the 10 main different Qurans, okay? And then on the other column where it says his narrators, those are the subtitle Qurans. I don't know what is the word I've got to use for that, but it is, sorry, I put the reds on it. Please beware. Those numbers are not in the book, so I just edit them to make it easy. Make your life easy. So, Quran number 1, please follow with me, is man called Nafis Quran, okay? Quran number 1 is Nafis Quran. This guy is in Medina, and apparently he preached in Muhammad's mosque for 4 years, okay? And his date is 785. Nafis date is 785. Last time when I checked, Muhammad was already long dead by 785. Last time when I checked, Muhammad was dead in 632. Can someone help me to figure out how this Nafi guy got the Quran from Muhammad? Did Muhammad ever saw his Quran? Any possibility? No. Muhammad never saw his Quran. Okay. Muhammad was already long dead. What about Abu Bakr? Nope. What about Uthman? No. None of those people who kind of responsible to put the Quran together saw the Quran with Nafi put together. Second Quran is identified as Ibn Kathir's Quran. Date for this is 737. Of course, one of the amazing things is we don't have those people's biography from those dates, by the way. That's just side information, but I am assuming you are already aware of that, and I don't need to verbalize that. That's like basic, okay? We don't have anyone's biography from 7th century. Especially like Sahabas, they were like literally nobodies in those times, but today they are somebodies. Ibn Kathir's Quran. This is not the Tafsir Ibn Kathir, okay? This is Ibn Kathir's Quran. He died in 737. Muhammad never saw his Quran. Muhammad never said okay to this guy's Quran. Abu Amir in Basra, his date is 770. Muhammad was long dead. Muhammad died in 632. Ibn Amir al-Sham, 736, over 100 years after the death of Muhammad. Anyway, so these numbers like goes like those 10 people in here, and the youngest one, kind of earliest one, is 737 in Mecca, and the latest one is 843. Look at those dates. Those dates has nothing to do with Muhammad. Muhammad never saw those so-called 10 big Qurans. I'm calling them Qurans because they are different Qurans, okay? He never saw them. Uthman never saw them. Abu Bakr never saw them. So let me move it a little bit higher, so I don't know how to get rid of that logo. Logo makes it for you to not able to see it. But anyway, now it should be okay. So those dates are very much late when you compare the revelation of the Quran and completion of the Quran. Okay? Of course, look at the locations. They are written by different people, by different locations, and they are different from one another. Miracle of Islam. That is miracle of Islam. Another miracle of Islam, while man called Nafi, 785, has have two students. Okay? His two students, one of them is Kalun, other one is Vorsh. Kalun and Vorsh. Apparently, they are students of Nafi. Okay? Kalun dates are, he was born 737, died 835. And then Vorsh died in 812. Okay? So Nafi dies in 785. Vorsh dies in 812. There are like over 20 years, nearly 30 years between them. Miracle is, while both of them are the students of Nafi, both students have different Quran from one another. Yet they've got one teacher, but two different Qurans. Therefore, just from the first line, the reason I say they are two different Qurans, because I've got those two Qurans and they are different from one another when you look at them. And then of course we will be looking at this book. It's gonna show us, yes, they are different as well. So just in the first line, we've had already three Qurans. One teacher, two students, and their what it is, the students' Quran is different than their teacher's Quran, and students' Quran is different from one another. Second Quran is Ibn Kathir's Quran of Mecca. This guy again has two students. Miracle is, look at the dates of his students. I don't want to be mean, seriously, I don't want to be mean, but I really need help in here. So, Ibn Kathir dies in 737, and his student is born when? 810, and then his student died in 904. His student was born 8 years after his teacher died. I think it's just like miracle, don't you think? Do you not think it's a miracle? Like there is like unbroken chain. There is an unbroken chain, but person is born approximate 8 years after the dead teacher. I'm just checking the date to make sure like I didn't do any typo over there. Yeah, Al-Bazi is 200, and then 291 for the Kumbul. That's just a miracle. Like you can't even imagine how this beautiful miracle takes place. So anyway, main point is Muhammad never saw Ibn Kathir's Quran. Muhammad never saw Al-Bazi's Quran. Muhammad never saw Kumbul's Quran, because Muhammad was long dead by those Qurans came up. Attention to the dates. Dates are important. Dates are important in this one. And then, so, again, we've got one teacher, and this teacher has 2 students, okay, and students work is different from one another. They are learning from the same teacher, but they've got different Qurans. How do we know that? Because we've got the physical Qurans, and this book is gonna make a proof to us that their Quran is different. So second line already gives us the 6th Quran. Okay, let's move on. Anyone is not following. I thought Muhammad was born 4 years after death of his father, but yeah, anyway. Now when it comes to the numbers, like we cannot expect much. Please don't get discouraged. We cannot expect much. Allah doesn't know maths. If Allah knew maths, he would arrange the inheritance tax, all those kind of things. Inheritance. Muhammad couldn't read and write. So what do you expect from Muslims? Not much. They're gonna deal with those dates. So third Quran, so, on the line is Abu Amir of Basra. His date is 717. By this stage, none of you needs to be Einstein, because Muhammad never seen his Quran. Abu Bakr never seen his Quran. Uthman never seen his Quran. Because why? They were long dead. Of course, woman can be pregnant for 10 years. Mary was pregnant for how long? She gave birth to Islamic Jesus when she was like 1,400 years old virgin. So, third Quran by Abu Amir has 2 students. One of them is Hafs. We all know Hafs. And then second one is Susi. So teacher dies in 770. Student Hafs is born when? 767. Actually, let me check that date. I thought it was. Let me check that date. That date might be my typo. That would be really awful if that is the case. Hafs is born 195. Okay, yeah, I think that's my typo. That is really bad, but it's my typo mistake. So dates for Hafs is 100. Actually, let me just exactly tell you what is the date for that. We go to calculator. Actually, dates are not wrong. Nope, dates are not wrong. Those dates are correct. So, teacher dies. Teacher dies when the student is 3 years old. Within 3 years, of course. Hafs took everything when Hafs was 3 years old. Seems to me that he took everything very well from Muhammad. He was only 3 years, memorized the whole Quran and then put it together from his teacher. When he turned to the 3, his teacher died. That's just a miracle, don't you think so? And then, of course, Susi dies in 874, and Muhammad died in 632. See the dates? Over 200 years gap between the kind of which Quran Muslims are uh, attributing to him. So third line gives us our ninth Quran. Let's go them again. First one is Nafi. Nafi has two students. His Qurans are different from one another. That makes three. Second line, Ibn Kathir. He's got two students. His Qurans are different from one another. And then we've got the teacher. That makes six Quran. Number three is Abu Amir. He's got two students. And then from that we end up having ninth Quran. So one teacher has two students, and two students Quran is different from one another, and then their Quran, of course, that makes their Quran different from their teacher. It all end up having one line means three Qurans. That's the basic maths. Fourth one is, look at the dates, look at those dates. Ibn Amir's Quran from Sham. We've got Hisham's Quran, and we've got Ibn Zakwan. Look at the dates. They're very, like, it's amazing. So teacher dies in 736. Student is born 798. Sorry, 89. Unbroken chain. Probably that was like student of student of student, but miracle of Islam. They are still identified as unbroken chains. So third line gives us three different Qurans, because teacher's Quran is different from the student, and student's Quran is different from one another. That all together makes 3 times 4, 12. Line 5. Actually, this is, I'm very interested in, even though I have 37 Quran, but I don't have the one of the Quran. I don't have the one of the Quran in number 5 actually. So number 5, we've got Asim ibn Amir. This is the guy, okay, where today's Hafs Quran comes from. Okay, so he dies in 778, and Hafs takes the Quran from him. This is the Quran which kind of end up in the river. This is the Quran which Hafs put together, where Muslims identify him as a liar, where Muslims identify him as a stealer, like he takes things and never returns them. So that this is the Quran which Muslims are, sorry, not that one, sorry, not this one. This is the one which Muslims are reciting today, okay? So this is the one we are hoping that the right recitation, because it is the one gonna intercede for Muslims on the Day of Judgment. If it is not right, then it's all messed up. So look at the dates. Late 700s, 796. Did Muhammad ever saw Hafs Quran? No. Did Uthman ever saw Hafs Quran? No. In 1924, 1936, and 1980s, anyone saw this man called Hafs, who has been identified as a liar? No. But that is the Quran where Muslims put their return it on. So in line 5, we've got again 3 different Qurans, and they are, so students' Quran is different than the teacher's Quran. Students are disagreeing with one another what it has to be. We will be seeing the examples for that. So that was already Quran number 15. Those any of you is counting. And number 6 is Khalaf's Quran. Look at the date, 843. And then he's got 2 students that are identified as Idris al-Haddad and Isaac al-Waraq. Just ignore my Arabic pronunciation. I can't even pronounce English. Anyway, so look at the dates. Beginning of 900s, late 800s. Those are the dates. Those are the dates of the Quran. New Qurans are still circulating around in 900s or being put together in 900s. So we just finished number line 6. That made how many? 18 different Qurans so far. Line number 7, Yaqub's Quran. He's got again 2 students, Ruh and Ruwais. Their Quran is different from one another and different from the teacher. And look at the dates, mid 800s. Muhammad didn't see this. Abu Bakr didn't see this. Umar didn't see this. Uthman didn't see this. While oral tradition was screaming out for help, Muslims put together another new Quran. That makes our Quran number 21 already. Quran number 8, line number 8, Abu Ja'far's Quran. Look at the dates. Look at the dates. 747, 777, 789. Ibn Wardan's and Ibn Gamma's Quran. Akin, if you are based in Üsküdar, there is a bookshop. When you go to the İlahiyat Fakültesi, you can get Warsh Quran and Kalun Quran from there if you want to do so. So Quran number 9. Sorry, we did number 8. So with the line number 8, we had how many Qurans? 21. Oh, actually no, 24. Line number 9, Ali Qusay's Quran. Look at the dates, beginning of 800s and late 800s. He's got 2 students. Students disagree with one another. It's all the same story, okay? Always 2 students are not agreeing what's supposed to be in the Quran. What's supposed to be in the Quran. Their Quran is different from one another. Of course, what is the teacher put together? What is this variable oral tradition taught people? And that was, of course, makes it number 27. Line number 10 is the Hamza al-Kufi's Quran. Look at the date, late 700s, and his students have mid 800s. Again, there are the different Qurans from one another. That all together makes 30 different Qurans by Muslims. Muslims are telling to humanity, here is the different Arabic Qurans for you. Just let me bring attention to you. There are lots of debates, discussion taking place in 900s, 1000s, even goes until 1400s. Which Qurans we should officialize and make it known widely. Okay, just be aware of that. So as this book puts together 30 different Arabic Qurans, some people will agree actually it's supposed to be 21. Okay, or some people would agree actually no, it's supposed to be 14 times 3. So this is the small summary of it. Let me bring once again your attention to the line number 5. This is the Hafs Quran which Muslims are reciting. Look at the dates, late 700s. It has nothing to do with man called Muhammad. It has nothing to do with man called Umar, Abu Bakr. Just beware of that, and even Uthman. So with that in mind, remember the purpose of this book. purpose of this book is just Muslim is telling other Muslims, yes, there are different Arabic Qurans out there. Here is the name of 30 different Arabic Qurans, and they are written in Arabic very, very differently. They pronounce differently in Arabic, dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, word by word. Is just false information. What he does is, actually, I'm gonna give you the Arabic version, and then also I want to show people that there is those different Arabics are changing the meaning in English, and therefore that's what he's done. Let me just go to the page 1 and look at a couple of examples for everyone to see. And now I noticed that Phil put the link to the chat, so now you have the PDF. Therefore I'll just show you how to use it, and none of you needs to be Einstein. Like, seriously, you don't need to be Einstein. What a shame, it didn't work. I thought I highlighted it, but it seems I didn't save it. Anyway, we can work here together as a team, where everyone practice their compromise skills. So on one side we get to see Arabic. Actually, I'm gonna take my picture off from here, therefore I won't be able to see the comments you are putting there. Okay, so on the one side you've got the Arabic, and then on the next side you've got the English translation. When the author puts the red color in English translation, you go down to the end of the page. Oh, sorry. Oh, how come it's... Okay, sorry. When author puts the red over here, all you've got to do is, you just, in the PDF it's color. It's in the book, it's not, there is no color code. You go down and you see author is gonna tell you here's the different versions of this word when it is been translated. Here is in which Qurans. All except, okay, there were list of 30 Qurans, except Asim al-Qisa, Yaqub and Kaf Quran. Okay, but the rest of is, instead of being master, it is, the word is king. Okay, and then let's look at another one. On here it is identified as, yet they deceive none but themselves. And then author is saying the word deceive is different in different Arabic Qurans. And then you come here and then you want to see what it says. It says in Nafi's Quran, Ibn Kathir's Quran, and Abu Amir's Quran, it is, yet they try to deceive. It's not they deceive, but they try to deceive. Muslim thinks that's a big difference, therefore he wants to put it there. Can I just gently ask why my name is like going through in the chat with like different language? That's not a big deal, but it's good to kind of keep the chat in English, if that's okay. And then look at another example in here. How they used to lie. How they used to lie. Okay. And then it says in Nafi's Quran, Ibn Kathir's Quran, Abu Amir's Quran, Ibn Amir's Quran, Abu Jafar's Quran, and Yaqub's Quran. How many Quran there are already? Lots of. They used to deceive. What is the difference between lying and deceiving? One of them is they used to lie. In other one is, disbelieve, sorry. In other one is they used to disbelieve. The word is how they used to lie, and in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Qurans, actually they used to disbelieve. There are two different words. It's not actually that big deal. It is big deal when Muslim simply says dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, it's exactly the same. Yet 6 Quran, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different Arabic Qurans contains this word as they used to disbelieve. You can lie. People used to lie versus they used to disbelieve. Even English speakers now don't need to be Einstein. They can know they are too different. Let's move to the another one. Come to the page 3. It's only page 3 now. We already saw like approximately 10 different Arabic Qurans has the textual variations. So the word is already red color for you. You are returned. You are returned. Then to him you are returned. And then it says in Yaqub's Quran, to him you return. In one of them is you are returned. It's been done like by someone else probably. In other one is you return. I do return. I don't know what is the English technical term for that. One of them is passive or one of them is active, something like this. Like in one of them action is done by someone else. In other one is action is done by the person, individual. Let's look at this one. This was like funny one. Okay. So we are just looking at in Surah 2. We haven't moved anywhere. Okay. Just like this is only page 3, 4. Yet Satan made them sleep. Satan made them sleep. It's in the Hafs Quran. And then author tells you, if you read the Hamza's Quran, okay, in Hamza's Quran, what it says is, yet Satan removed them therefrom. Satan made them sleep? Satan caused them to sin? Or Satan removed them? I love those miracles of Islam. Dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, word by word, it's exactly the same. Even though when you come to the English translation, letter by letter, dot by dot, sound by sound, it's exactly the same. Just so much same. It is so much same. Even Muslims are saying it does change the meaning even in English. It's already changing the meaning in Arabic, but even in English. Okay? And then all you can go and check them. So I just thought I just showed you how you can kind of figure them out. It's very easy if you've got the PDF. Once again, thank you very much to Takia Watch for putting the PDF, because I was just simply doing these things from the book. Let's look at this one. We are in still Surah 2. This is verse 58. We will forgive you your offenses. Your offenses will be forgiven. And then of course on top of here, we appointed with Moses 40 nights, or we appointed for Moses. And then it goes on. So in every food Note, it tells you which Quran is different. And in every kind of very well colored, it just tells you what is the difference. I think that's just amazing. Therefore, I think, let's look at this one and then we will stop. We are in still Surah 2. Surah 2 is very long, remember? Surah 2 verse 83. Children of Israel, you shall worship none but Allah. Okay? You shall worship none but Allah. But Ibn Kathir, Hamza, and Al-Qasai's Quran, 3 different Qurans in here, says they shall worship. You shall and they shall are 2 different things, as it is in Arabic. Also, it is in English. I think with that kind of all I wanted to do tonight is be extra kind, good Christian and help Muslims out with their communication skills, and also advertise the PDF version of the book so you can get access and use it. And I just wanted to show you how you can use it. Just print the page or just put on your phone and then show it to your Muslims. So now let's keep eye on the chat and see what's happening. Oh, Rob Christian. Admin will our sister. Okay, I can turn on Skype if you want, because I did reject you other day and I know people commit suicide from rejections. Let me put the Skype on. Skype is on, Rob Christian. If you want to call in, please free to do so. While there's a possibility that we might get a call, let me see what the lovely Muslims, how lovely Muslims are thanking me for simply just helping them to advertise Muslim books. Remember, basic line is dot by dot, letter by letter, sound by sound, word by word. Quran is exactly the same. And Muslims are simply telling us, actually, no, here's the example from the 10 different Arabic Qurans. Letter by letter, dot by dot, word by word, sound by sound, it's different. And it does change the meaning. Here's my evidence from English. Translated to English. That's what he's simply saying. Hello.
Hello, dear sister. How are you? God bless you.
Peace of Christ be with you, brother. We've got Rob Christian on the call. Brother, are you giving permission to be recorded in this live stream?
Always, of course.
Good.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. I hope everybody in the live chat are doing good. God bless your audience. God bless you, sister. I hope you're doing okay.
By God's grace, I'm good. Thank you. We are talking about this lovely 30 different Arabic Qurans Muslims put together. What do you think?
Well, you have a good topic going on here, and I'm really enjoying the live show. And if it's okay, if I may add something on top of what you said today.
Sure.
Okay. Maybe if you can put chapter 66, verse 12, 66, ayah 12 on the screen, if that would be possible, because I want to mention something. You know, Muslim.
Are we talking about Hafs Quran, or which Quran are you talking about?
Hafs Quran, but also I'm going to prove to everybody that, you know, Muslims always say, even if there are variations, it does not change the doctrine. Maybe you have heard it many times, right, sister? If you have
yes, but that's not the point. For 1400 years, dot by dot, letter by letter, it's all the same, even 21st century. That's not the point. But anyway, sorry, brother, I get like so annoyed with that stupid statement comes from
of course. So, you know, chapter 66 verse 12, if you can show the Arabic, maybe some people can read Arabic. I don't know if there are people, maybe I'm the only one today, I don't know. But anyway, if you go to chapter 66, ayah 12,
So
it says
let
in the
me-
Hafs version.
let me just give the quick background of chapter 66 verse 12. This is the, correct me if I'm wrong, this is when angel comes, and then not angel, actually ruh of Allah comes, and then and anyway, I'm not gonna, I'll put on
Yeah.
the screen,
Yeah, if you look at the Hafs version, this and I think you have the Hafs version on the screen, maybe, right?
Yes, I got the Hafs on.
Okay. If you can look for his books, do you see the word his books in the ayah? The books of Allah, basically. Do you see that? Chapter 66, verse 12.
Chapter 66, verse 12. We belong through our angel. She believed in the words of her Lord and his scriptures.
Yeah. So the scripture here is books. The right word should be books, right? So scriptures, let's say scriptures. But so this is Hafs Quran. So guys, I hope people who are listening pay attention. The word in the Hafs Quran is wa kutubihi. Again, wa kutubihi. This is Hafs. So meaning his books, the books of Allah. That means the Torah, the Injil, the Zabur, and the Quran, right? So if we go to the Warsh and Qalun, now watch how the doctrine change. The doctrine. Why, Rob Christian? Because in the Warsh and Qalun, it says kitabihi wa kitabihi, right? So the Hafs version is talking about all the books of Allah, but the Warsh and Qalun is talking about one book, which is, let's say, the Quran. So here we have not a change of the word. Here we have a complete difference in doctrine. Did you catch it, sister?
Yes, I do have that one. I'm just trying to find it because I've got 90,000 variations. So I've got to find one, but I just thought actually I can find. Sorry, I thought I can find it in the book. Just give me a second, brother.
Yeah. So the Qalun version, while you're searching, the Qalun version and the Warsh version, which are, let's say, used in parts of Africa, Morocco, they were used the Warsh. You have Libya, you have Algeria, they maybe use different ones. So the Hafs version is talking about all the books of Allah, but the doctrine changes for people in Morocco who use the Warsh, or other parts of the world who use the Qalun. So we have not only change in meaning of the word, but the complete doctrine is changed. And Muslims say, no, even maybe you have small variations. No, this is not a small variation. This is a huge variation in meaning and doctrine. Did you catch it?
What I'm going to do is, Rob Christian, sometimes it is very common. Please don't take this personal. Sometimes it is common that Muslims get to think that you might be Allah since you speak Arabic, because Allah is deceiver. Therefore, I am sure they call you deceiver because they get confused that you might be Allah. So
I mean, who knows? Allahu alam.
So the book which I've been trying to advertise to Muslims, today, which I'm going through, you can see it on your screen. This is Surah 66. You can see in here, this is Surah 66, and then you come to end of it, you get to see this is the Surah 66 verse 12. Let me read it.
The last ayah, right?
Let me read it in English, and then I'll point it out from you that people don't think you are Allah, brother. So, and Mary, the daughter of Imran, who guarded her chastity, and so we breathed into her of our spirit, and she believed in her Lord's.
Sister, you're reading a false translation. You know that, right?
No, this is the translation which Muslims put together.
It's talking about it's talking about her private part. So someone, if this is Jibreel or
it's
Allah,
supposed to be like Farj.
It's the word. Farjiha. That means,
So anyway, let's put our Christian head on. So in here, as those of you who are seeing that on the screen, let me try to make it bigger for all of you. You will be seeing the word which Rob Christian identifies as his books, his scripture is colored as red. Why?
Yes.
Because Otto is saying there are the differences. And then Otto is being very kind and tells us, remember he gave us the name of 30 Arabic Qurans. He tells us in Hafs Quran, except for Hafs, Abu Amir and Yaqub's Quran, it is, and his scripture.
Yes.
So it is
Did you catch
singular.
It? So you have one book versus all the books of Allah. Did you catch it?
Yes, and that is in 27 different Arabic Qurans. It is identified as only one book.
Yes.
In
so here we have
Qurans, it's plural.
Exactly. So here we have a difference not only in the word that is different, and Muslims, as you said, they claim for the last 1400 years, not one dot has been changed, not one letter has been changed. Here we see a change in the letter, in the dot, forget about it. But here we have also a change in the doctrine, because is it talking about one book, or is it talking about all the books of Allah? Muslims, please pick your cherries, right? Pick your cherries. So you see?
So this is, of course, I didn't go through all of them because I've got like over 90,000 variations, and it does change the doctrine as well. It's not only change actually doctrine, even in some occasions it does change the application of Islam. In a sense, while I've got you here, you can tell me what is lamastum and lamastum, which is like, do you even understand what I'm trying to pronounce?
You mean touching?
Yes.
Is that yes? So
can you tell me what is the difference between handshake and other way of touching?
Yes, the one is basically touching someone, lamas maybe, or you touch something or someone. And what's the other one? Can you repeat it?
It is the same with one of them is with the alif. One of them is extra alif.
I really need to look at it. I can, I'm kind of guy. If I don't see it with my own eyes, I don't see the difference. I don't want to say something, without seeing. And at the moment, I'm not behind the computer.
Yeah, that's fine. That's my pronunciation. So that's the lamastum in Surah 4 verse 43.
You touch, lamastum, you touch. That's what it means.
So one of them is like touch by like handshake.
Yes.
Those kind of touch. Other one is like sexual touch. And then when you read the context of the verse, application, like in one of them you have to do ghusl, in one of them you have to do wudu. And ghusl is like you have like proper bath. And
you have to complete. Ghusl is the complete bath, and wudu is only a partial.
Your hand, nose, ears, those kind of things.
Yes.
So which depend which Quran Muslims follow, they have to apply that differently.
Exactly. Yes, you are right. Because if let's say you have sexual intercourse with a woman, you have to do ghusl. You have to do the complete washing. But the wudu is only partial. So exactly, Muslims, you can, like our sister, you said, can you please again pick your cherries? And this is the difference in the action, right? So as we mentioned, chapter 66:12 is difference in doctrine. Here we have difference in action, in application, as you said. Exactly, sister. You're right.
And then we do have other examples where doctrine has been changed as well because of the same word, his words or his word. But that's topic for another time.
Maybe if I can also give other example. If you and this is only the hafs. Forget about the warsh. Forget about the qalun. If we go, for example, to the name, and I'm talking only about hafs, sister. Only hafs. Muslim always say hafs always the same, right?
Yes. We are gonna. I'm gonna do a session on hafs where even in one of the musaf, like there are different.
Yeah, maybe we can do a live show together, and we can show screenshots for the hafs.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got like 7 different hafs, and even when you just look at in one hafs, you can see actually Allah's grammar and spelling was very bad.
Maybe we can give like a small, small spoiler just for one example.
Sure.
If we go, for example, only to Hafs, we can see if we go to the entire chapter of, let's say, chapter 2, chapter the cow, we see the name of Abraham, right? Ibrahim. It's spelled without an E, so it's spelled like this, Ibrahim. Do you hear it? Ibrahim. But if we go to the rest of the 113 chapters, the same name of Abraham, it's spelled like Ibrahim. So do you see the E? So in chapter 2, the E is missing. The E, so the letter is missing. And if you go to the rest of the 113 chapter, I mean, this is a name, right? Can Allah change his mind, change his, and say, hey, let me, in chapter 2, only in chapter 2, I'll write the name of Abraham without an E, like Ibrahim. And to the rest of the chapters, Allah decides to change Abraham's name to Ibrahim and writing it with an E. So this is Hafs. Do you see the damage in Hafs?
Like for what it all tells me that Allah is failing with his grammar. Allah is failing with his pronunciation.
We need to ask Allah to go back to school and take his Arabic exam again, because Allah cannot understand that in chapter 2 he's writing the name. I mean, it's a name. Can I write your name differently, Sister Hatun? Your name is Hatun. Can I write it like Hatun, or should I write it with Hatun, because that's your name? It's a name, for God's sake, right? If this is Allah, Allah claims to be God.
Okay.
God cannot make such mistakes, right?
I'm gonna defend Allah. Reason I'm gonna defend Allah is because sometimes when I write things, I do lots of spelling mistakes, and especially if I've got like no time to
but sister, you don't claim to be God, but Allah claims to be God, right?
He's supposed to be like all knowing, all powerful, all present.
Exactly.
I think it was Takiyevach's comment. I don't think in here, in the context, it is just the name changing in here. Takiyevach, Allah is changing his spelling.
The spelling, yeah, exactly. So is it Abraham with an E in the end, like Ibrahim for the rest of the 113th chapter, or should we go with chapter 2 alone, which is spelled like Ibrahim without the E in the end? Ibrahim or Ibrahim? Which one is correct, Muslims? Should we ask Allah to, at least pick and choose? I mean, you cannot go and have a cake and eat it to Allah, claiming that you're God, but writing a name differently in one chapter, and the rest of the chapter you write it again differently. So Allah, you claim to be God, then you must be consistent, right? You must be consistent. This is so-called perfect book of Allah. Can Allah make such mistakes, Muslim? Right.
Can you what do you do on Fridays around 1:30?
1:30. Actually, if maybe it's better, like let's say.
No, we can't change the time, because that's the time where Muslims go to prayer. So Allah should be available to come to.
Are you
Arabic
saying
class.
1:30 p.m. UK time?
1:30 p.m. Mecca time. I am expecting Allah will be free to come to your Arabic class.
Sure. Please, if you can, sister, after you're done with the live show, send me a message through Skype so that we can pick a date. Sure, why not?
Yeah,
that would be a lovely session.
That's
sure.
Fine. Have you got any other comments to make, brother? Or
no, sister. I just want to know if Allah can be consistent, right? Muslims claim that He's God, but should God not be at least consistent? That's the question. Thank you for having me, sister. God bless the audience, and God bless your ministry. And looking forward to our live show together. Why not?
Thank you very much for joining us and your contribution. We will see you soon. God bless you, brother.
God bless you too. Bye-bye.
That was, in a sense, disappointing phone call from Rob Christian. You would expect when Arabic-speaking Christian calls in, you would expect they would stand alongside of Allah, who is all-wise and all-knowing. But what Rob Christian did was simply just used word of Allah against Allah. and that's okay for me, because we know, according to Islamic tradition, one day word of Allah is going to argue with Allah on the behalf of those who recited it. But it is always heartbreaking when you get to hear that from Christians who are trying to help out. Let's go back to the our topic on 30 different Arabic Qurans which was put together by Muslims. Let me put the book again so that everyone knows what we are talking about, and you can make your life easier. Even go and get the book. Can you see how kind and nice person I am? I am helping you to publicize Muslim books. Takevich, I think the argument is, let me get rid of this. So the argument is, there are same words used in the same context, yet they are spelled differently from one another. And Muslim claim is like Quran is dot by dot, letter by letter is exactly the same. But even when we look into one Quran, we see there is no like same format has been followed. We are not talking about names of people are being changed. For example, God gave name Abraham to Abram. It's not in that context. In here, the way it has been written in Arabic, it is different. That's the issue. But hopefully, once we arrange and go through that, that will helpful to kind of put together. Let's go back to 30 different Arabic Qurans, and I'm expecting lovely Muslims to just send me roses, flowers, birds, or bird poison, whatever you have, to just say thank you to me for helping you to sell your book and helping you to figure out. Actually, yeah, there are 30 different Arabic Qurans, and there are the differences between them. Allah made the mistakes when he saw Muhammad wearing Aisha's clothes and receiving the revelation. And I wouldn't say that's a mistake, since Allah is very much involved in the sexual life of Muhammad. It was something Allah was doing that intentionally. I think Allah's biggest mistake is praying. And also Allah's other biggest mistake is Surah 17 verse 1. But not much to hope, since there are full of mistakes. Or another biggest mistake Allah did is Surah 4 verse 157. But I want to stay on the topic of 30 different Arabic Qurans which has been put together by Muslims. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you are on the live stream. Are you giving permission to be recorded in this live stream?
Yes.
And who are you?
Am I getting permission not to be hung up on?
Sorry?
I'm asking a question too. I said, am I getting a permission not to be hung up on?
I don't know. Depends how well you behave, sir. Sir, we are talking about 30. Sorry, what's your name?
Ultimate Daddy. Yes, ma'am.
So we've got a Muslim on the Skype. Can you tell us about these 30 different Arabic Qurans which was put together by Muslim and then it tells us the differences in Arabic as well as in English. What are you doing about it, sir?
Yes, what I'm doing about it is when Allah said that He is the one that revealed the Quran, that He will be protecting it, He had to show us. Allah does not talk in vain. When He's telling us
which
that,
Quran did Allah reveal, sir?
I don't let me answer, or
No,
you're gonna just ask
no,
me.
sir.
You asked me a question
Sir,
about the
which
30 Quran. Let me
which
answer.
Quran did Allah
I will
send
let
it to
you know
protect?
which Quran Allah revealed when you let me answer. You ask me a question and then you cutting me off to answer another question.
Sir, let me ask you again.
This is right.
Which Quran Allah promised to protect it? Is it
I
Hafs
will
Quran,
tell you which
Susi's
Quran was
Quran,
revealed
Ibn
by
Kathir's
Allah.
Quran?
If you let me speak. If you let me speak, yes, you will know.
Sir, can you answer my question? Thank you.
I said, if you let me speak, you will know. But you won't let me speak because you know I will prove to you that the Quran, this Quran here, is from Allah. That's all you gotta say. You ask a question.
No, which
Shut up.
Quran?
You don't tell me the way I'm going to be answering. I will tell you
Sir,
which Quran is revealed.
Sir, which Quran? Sir, instead of playing the victim games on my Skype, can you please tell me? Can you please tell me which Quran did Allah promise to protect? So I'll show you the name of the Qurans. I'll show you the name of the Qurans, and then please tell me.
I know the name of every.
Sorry, you are breaking up, sir.
And I'm about to tell it.
Sir,
I'm just telling you.
Sir, you broke up. Can you just? Can you just repeat?
Every time I call, you don't want to hear it. You gonna?
Sir, can you repeat it for me? Can you repeat it for me? Which?
I said there is hundreds of Qurans out there.
So
There's
there are hundreds of the Qurans out there.
Yes.
Thank you for confirming that. Which one of those Allah is gonna protect?
Are you gonna let me speak though? Yes, that's what for 5 minutes. I want to say, because you shut up and let me speak. Simple as that.
Okay, so as you can all hear, his internet connection is not very good, as well as he is playing victim games. So let me ask you again. Can you please tell me, you said Allah, there are hundreds of Qurans. Which of the 100 Quran Allah is going to protect?
It could be a million Qurans. Let me answer the question.
Yeah, answer
Don't
the question.
play dummy.
Thank
you are ridiculing yourself.
Okay, that will be, I think that will be my last chance I'm giving you, sir. You expressed there are hundreds of the Qurans. Can you name the name of the Quran which Allah is going to protect?
There is no one Quran that got a name other than the Quran. Do you understand that? There is no Al-Duri, there is no Hafs and Warsh. Is one Quran. It's called the Quran.
Which one is that one? Where is that one?
Okay, it's called the Quran. You don't have that one. That's what I'm about to tell you.
Where is it?
Can you do that?
Where is it?
It's right here. I'm holding it right here. And I'll show it to you.
Right.
I'm holding it right here.
Sir, I don't know what you are tapping.
Let me tell you that.
Sir, I don't know what you are tapping. Let me ask again. What is the name of that one Quran that Allah is going to protect?
You hear the pages? I'm tapping the Quran. So simple as that. I will prove. People said just what you said. Open chapter 74 in any Quran, verse 13 and up. Let's go through it. People said this is but a word of a human being, right? Allah said, I will prove to you that this is not a word of a human being.
That's not my question, sir. That's not my question. I am afraid you are intentionally failing to answer my question. Let me ask my question again. So, Muslim expressed in his book. Muslim expressed in the book that there are 30 different Arabic Qurans, and then he gives examples. Please listen.
How about you debate me on that?
Please listen. and he gives examples of 30% of the variations, which is over 1,000 already minimum. And you express that there are hundreds of the Qurans, and then I ask you, which is that 100? What is the name of that? Oh, sorry, it's million. Sorry, it is million. Yes, there are millions of the Qurans according to Muslim Qala. Which of them? What is the name of that Quran which has been going to be protected by Allah?
Yes, Allah will show you how to protect it.
Sir, don't play that game with me. Like,
no,
please,
you are the one playing game for not letting me talk.
You got 30 options on the screen. Can you please pick one of them?
Time, Miss Trash. You are waiting time. You are wasting time.
Okay, thank you for calling for us, sir. So all we heard from whoever this person has been calling like so long, and there are some not very good messages there. Anyway, we got the quick confirmation from Muslims that there are first 100 of the Qurans, and now there are thousands of the Qurans. And then what we heard from this as well, there are, I think he said millions of the Qurans, but we couldn't figure out which Quran is Allah going to preserve. Which Quran is Allah going to preserve? So it is, I think, good process. Now we get to hear, yes, there are not only like 30 Qurans, there are hundreds, but we want to know which one Allah said He's gonna protect. I would love to see that. Let's go back to chat and see if there is any comment or questions. Okay, I'm so behind of the chat. Let me go at the end and then see if there is any last comments. So let me show you the Qurans again. Oh, I need to click this first. Let me show you the name of the Qurans and the dates again once for you, so you can get to see them, as well as you already got the I think a couple of people already posted the link to the PDF. Please get that link and then look at them and use it. It's supposed to be good. Let me summarize overall what this book proves for everyone is. There are different Arabic Qurans there. Examples name 30 has been named here with some of the examples for the variations. And point is, in Arabic, it is written differently. In English, it does change the meaning because it is written differently. Sound is different. Dot is different. Letter is different. Pronunciation is different. Recitation is different, and meaning is different in Arabic. Therefore, when we put that in English, according to Muslims, it's like I've been saying that since 2016. But according to Muslims now, yes, it is different. It is different, and even like Rob Christian called in, where we saw another example which was making doctoral differences. With that, in all in note, let me say once again, those Muslims who are trying to justify that how come 30 different Arabic Qurans still mean one Quran. That means how come Ali Al-Qsa plus Hafs plus Khalaf plus Ruh plus Warsh makes one Quran. I'm sure you deep down know that actually you are hunting perfect word of God, and of course, as always, side note, Quran confirms that Jesus is the word of God, and real description of the word of God and his personal characters and his amazingness comes to us from Christian scripture, and that wonderful word of God is identified as Lord Jesus Christ, and that's the one. On the day of judgment, those of you who rejected him will be asking the mountains and the rocks to hide you. And that's the word of God who was crucified. And at the end, once again, just for you to just attack the Bible doesn't help. You've got to deal with these lovely, lovely 30 different Arabic Qurans. Do your homework and then come up with good answers. Why you end up in 30 different Arabic Qurans, as well as which one is gonna intercede for you. The one it's gonna intercede for you is actually the word of Yahweh, God, man, Lord Jesus Christ. Perfect, perfect, perfect, and he's delightful. While we are here, according to Sermon of Hebrews, he is interceding for us. That's the one you need, dear Muslim people. And if you are Christian, and if you do already have the heart of word of God, Lord Jesus Christ, I pray that your heart continues to incline towards him. With that, we will see you tomorrow evening on another live stream. God bless you all.